Good Saturday morning, everybody. Chris Allen here with your 270 weather. Weather for the 270 area code and beyond. Welcome into a March 29th. Of course, we got a lot of weather to talk about, and there's many things that we've got to go over. So I want to make sure that you are well aware of what's coming and hopefully take this time today and maybe even the beginning of tomorrow to make those last minute preparations because it does look like we're going to be in the thick of things here, as you'll soon see. Let's first of all check out the Plano cam on this Saturday morning here at 7:15 a.m. And you can see we've got a cloudy sky. There's a little bit of light rain shower activity that's out there. So as you're going out and planning your Saturday, nothing to be concerned with today. This is just your garden variety rain showers that may show up. Some of them will be light. There could be the possibility of a thunderstorm maybe later today or tonight, but nothing today or tonight is expected to be severe. So all you're going to see today is what you're seeing right now. Clouds, maybe a little sun peeping through at times, then a shower, then rinse and repeat. It's just kind of like that. So no weather worries or concerns today or tonight. Everything that we're really concerned about is going to be tomorrow, mainly tomorrow night into early Monday morning. All right, let's now go to the stats from yesterday. Interesting here that we hit a high of 82, and I've got that little asterisk, a little snowflake, because I wanted that there to remind me that not only were we 17 degrees above normal, which is 65, the normal, but that 82 was only 7 degrees shy of the record for yesterday, which is 89, set back in 1907. Wow. And it's that's going to help fuel the thunderstorms that are coming. When you've got temperatures running almost 20 degrees above normal, this time of the year, that's an issue. That's a problem, especially when you're talking about a very strong approaching storm system. It's going to help fuel all those storms. 61 was our low, no precipitation past 24 hours. All right, let's go to the radar, and I'll show you that there have been a few little, just very minute rain showers that have tried to work into the area. Most of these are coming in from our south, as Gulf of Mexico moisture is just now, or Gulf of America moisture is just now beginning to open up. And boy, is it going to open up. That's another thing that, while we're focused on severe weather, we're also going to have to focus on the amount of rain. And I'll show you something here that in a little bit that's going to maybe startle you a little bit as far as how much rain we're talking about over the next 7 days. But most of the rain right now is up east of St. Louis through central Illinois into central Indiana. But our chance is coming today. Whatever we get today, it's just, like I said, it's going to be scattered. It's going to be light. It's not going to be too big of a deal. So we don't have to worry about severe weather chances today. That is all going to come tomorrow night. Look at the satellite view. We're going to see lots of clouds today. As you see here, high resolution satellite view with the winds turned on. Light winds for us, but we've got just that canopy of clouds that is over Bowling Green and much of southern Kentucky. There may be times today when little holes in the sky will open up for a short time, and then it goes cloudy again, and then we get another little hit of rain. So that's pretty pretty much how your day is going to go today. It is going to become breezier, though, even though the winds are light. Right now, the winds will become much breezier as we get into the afternoon, as some of that jet energy begins to kick in. Here's a look at current conditions from the Kentucky Mesonet Network as of 7:20 a.m. on this Saturday morning. If you're watching this later, you can use that as a point of reference because your temperatures will be much warmer than this if you're watching later today. There are a bunch of 60s, mostly low to mid 60s everywhere except for down near the river in Cumberland County near Burkesville, 56, a little bit cooler. And we've got upper 60s, almost 70-degree weather already back into western Kentucky. So temperatures are going to be well on the rise today. Look at the winds. Everybody's getting a south wind this morning at about 5 to 10, sustained here over southern Kentucky. Breezier winds will start to kick in. In fact, they're already trying to back to the west. As you can see, we've got some winds. That's Cadiz, Kentucky, already with a southerly breeze at 20 miles per hour. So the winds are going to kick up today. We could have some gusts up to 30. So if you're planning on doing something in the yard today to maybe get ready for spring, a lot of you I know right now are aerating. You're putting the little holes in the ground so that you can get some fertilizer in there and maybe some yard seed and things like that. Um, yeah, just be aware that if you're using one of those broadcast spreaders, the wind's going to blow all that stuff around and maybe not do what you wanted it to do. Here's a look at dew points. They are continuing to climb slowly. They are now more into the mid 40s and upper 40s to the east. West of us, now we're starting to see some 50 plus degree dew points. In other words, this is the amount of moisture that's in the air. And some of the moisture you're going to be able to feel today. It's going to actually feel more humid because of the increasing moisture. So just keep that in mind as well today. Um, it's going to be one of those situations where we just see the moisture content really surge northward over time as the Gulf opens up and gets ready for that system to come in. As we look through the next few days, here is our system coming in today. The Gulf of America. It's hard to break the habit. Gulf of Mexico, America, Gulf of America. I'll just say the Gulf. Um, Here comes the rain, and this round of rain, like I said, even though the coverage is pretty good today, it's really scattered in nature. It's not going to be anything that's too heavy until maybe we get into tonight. There will be some better chances of a couple of downpours, but nothing severe. All the severe weather is going to be brewing back here to the west, where the low pressure system will be kind of phasing up with the upper flow, and then everything starts to take shape for tomorrow. So here's 7 o'clock tonight, a few scattered showers, maybe a rumble of thunder. Here's midnight, 1 a.m. Early tomorrow morning, really just same thing. Just some clouds, scattered showers, maybe a thunderstorm, no big deal. Here we go into 7 a.m. Sunday morning. Now, there may be a round of thunderstorms in the morning. Some of those could be strong, but with all the layer of clouds and the rain that's around, I don't think we'll see anything severe. Now, further south, there might be enough instability there, Mississippi, maybe southwest Tennessee, and other places where there might be just enough energy to touch off something strong to severe. But I think for us, we're not going to have to worry about that even tomorrow morning. I do think there will be a bit of a break uh, in the rain before the main event gets here. Now, here's 7 o'clock tomorrow evening. This is when it all begins. This is when we're going to see, and as you can see, Bowling Green right there, right where that little hand icon is, that's Bowling Green. And you can see that we're painted in the red. We're in the red zone. That's something that hardly ever happens. So this is the forecasters showing and telling us that it looks like anytime after, say, 6, 7 o'clock tomorrow evening, Sunday evening, we're going to be in the thick, the leading edge of a line that will start to form. This will become more of a linear or line driven storm system. There could be, though, a few renegade little pop up popcorn type individual cells that pop up ahead of the main line. That's what we've got to watch for. Sometimes you may hear them referred to as discrete cells or discrete supercells. They call them supercells because the atmosphere is rotating. There's enough shear in the atmosphere to make those storms rotate. It doesn't mean it's going to produce a tornado, but this is the kind of air mass and the kind of ingredients and the kind of setup that could produce a tornado. So keep that in mind. It's not a guarantee that you'll get one, but the tornado threat is there. It's going to be there. There's no way to evade it. It's coming. So the thing to do is to prepare and to be ready for it. But as you can see here, it looks like prime time for this big event is going to be sometime after 6 or 7 o'clock tomorrow evening. And then it makes its way east across the area and goes till about 9, 10, 11 o'clock tomorrow night to the east of 65, and then it'll be out of here in pretty quick order. We're only talking about 2 or 3 hours of this activity, and then it'll be gone. It'll be just leaving us with a lot of heavy rain afterwards. But there's the cold front, the low pressure system, and you can see the red zone area here for tomorrow night. Here is 7 a.m. Monday morning. We're still rainy. It's going to, once we get past the initial line of the strongest storms tomorrow evening, as we get into Monday morning, there will still be lots of rain behind it. And that's where some of the heavier rainfall will occur, but there will be no severe weather threat. Okay. Oops, it just updated on me. Let me back up here. There we go. Okay. So there's that. We go into Monday morning. The cold front comes through and it's going to be breezy. You can see the tight lines here, windy even at times. And then much cooler air starts to move in on Monday. In fact, Monday, we're only going to be into the low 60s behind this system. So we're going from near 80 today and tomorrow. And then we're only going to be in the low 60s on Monday with the passage of that cold front. Here we go into Tuesday. Tuesday is going to be beautiful. It's going to be the one day out of the next 7 that's going to be dry. And it will still be in the low 60s, but that's where we're supposed to be for a high temperature this time of the year, actually mid 60s. So a little cooler than it's been lately, but it will be a nice day, the first day of April. And I know it's April Fool's Day, but I'm not fooling you. This is how it's going to be on Tuesday. Here we go into Wednesday, and here comes trouble again. Yes, this is a second severe weather threat behind the one that's coming tomorrow night. And I want you to know this because you're going to be like, oh, okay, I've had enough severe weather. This has been a rough 2025 so far with weather. Yeah, but we're not done. I mean, this is really just kind of the beginning of storm season, and it's just been a more active year. And here comes another very active system as we get into Wednesday. More rain, more thunderstorms. Look at the tight lines here. Lots of wind, and there's potential for wind damage, large hail, and tornadoes. Once again, next Wednesday. No fooling. Here we go into Thursday. System starts to get locked up. And here's another concern is that besides the initial severe weather threat that we have on Wednesday, once we get into Thursday and even into Friday, this front wants to stall. And what that means is that we're going to have a higher risk for flooding because we're going to get rain generating, regenerating, and regenerating over the same areas over and over again. The bigger concern with this system, even though there will be a severe weather threat on Wednesday, it's Thursday into Friday. Look, it just sits there. The front just sits there and cranks out a bunch of rain. So I know we've had more than enough. We're at around 6 inches above normal now, year to date on rainfall. We're going to add to that. We may add anywhere from 3 to 5 inches of rain on top of that over this system. Well, the system that's coming in for Sunday, tomorrow, and this system, which is going to be Wednesday, Thursday, Friday next week. That's crazy. I know. It's a lot of rain, but it's coming. So those of you that live in an area that is prone to flooding, you live near a creek, stream, river, lake, whatever, and when it comes heavy rain, you have to move, you have to get out, or you have to make alternative plans. You are going to have to do that with this system coming in. Yeah, it's going to be one of those. Okay, now let's get to the specific severe weather outlook. All right, here's today. No big deal. Like I said, these are any thunderstorms that pop up today, or mostly this afternoon, this evening, garden variety, general thunderstorms. I even have my like military sort of hat with the American flag on it. Like general thunderstorms. Not a big deal. This is not going to be anything that you have to be concerned about. It's tomorrow, and this hasn't really changed that much. The severe weather threat still a level 3 for Bowling Green and all of southern Kentucky, and really much of the state. It has been pared back, and I said this would happen. It has been squeezed thinner just a little, and it's still the main focus is going to be right here: Wabash River, Ohio River, Mississippi River. Those three rivers, I think, is where the worst of the weather is going to be. Although that's not to say that Bowling Green and much of the News 40 area is going to escape the worst, because it this time it doesn't appear that we're going to dodge the bullet, so to speak. The last two severe weather events really didn't turn out to be that bad for us. It was all west of us. Well, here we go again, but this time I think there's enough of that little extra instability, a little extra uh punch, if you will, to this system that we may not be able to escape it this time. So, level 3, enhanced risk. This is for mainly tomorrow night. I think much of your Sunday is going to be just fine with a few showers and thunderstorms, but the severe weather threat is going to come late in the evening, like after 6, 7 o'clock, and then on in as we get closer to midnight to the east. Here is the updated tornado outlook for tomorrow night. And Bowling Green and all of Western Kentucky is in that 10 to 14% chance of a tornado within a 25-mile radius of where you live. So wherever you live in that yellow shaded area, you have a 10 to almost 15% chance of getting a tornado. It sounds low, but a threat is a threat when it comes to tornadoes. Now, the gridded area or the hatched area is what they call it with the little black marks. What that says is greater than a 10% probability of a significant tornado. Now, a significant tornado is not your EF zeros or EF ones, but these are EF2 strength or higher. Now, I know that's a concern, but there's a lot of conditional things that have to happen to make that happen. There has to be a lot of spin in the atmosphere. We've got that. There has to be lift. We'll have that. There has to be available moisture. We have that. The warm air certainly helps fuel all this stuff. So the ingredients are there, but it's just a matter of how much energy can be spent before it gets here. Now, the last couple of times that we've had severe weather, most of the energy was spent back west of us. And so by the time it got to us here in Bowling Green and Southern Kentucky, it had used up a majority of its potential energy. That could be the case again. Or it could be one of those times where even as we get into the nighttime, it's got enough available energy to cause enough spin and enough instability to hold together. Then that's when it's going to be our turn. Okay. Just I want you to know that and be prepared. I still believe the number one threat is going to be damaging straight line winds. And as you can see, the odds go up for that more than the tornado threat. 30 to 44% chance of wind damage. And the hatched area means significant wind damage with wind gust up to or greater than 74 miles per hour. Well, folks, 74 miles per hour wind is category 1 hurricane winds. So we're talking about destructive winds, including us. So if we can not if we can stay away from the individual, those little popcorn discrete cells that I talked about, if we can stay away from those, the tornado threat would not be as high. But then we're still going to have this dangerous uh line of storms that's going to come in with these bowing segments that kind of bow out like that. And that means there's a lot of wind pushing that, and the winds could be up to 70. It wouldn't surprise me even 80 miles per hour. Sunday night, tomorrow night, that could happen. We're in that higher odds area where that could happen. I think that's a bigger threat than the tornado threat. And even this time, which we did not have to deal with before, this time there's going to be enough cold air aloft to produce large hail, maybe even destructive hail, the kind that will put dents in your vehicles, the kind that could break glass. Maybe, maybe. It's not a sure thing, but maybe. The conditions are right for this to happen. We're in that area of 30 to 44% chance, and we're also in the gridded hatched area. Greater than 10% probability of significant hail greater than 2 inches in diameter. Well, that's golf ball, yeah, golf ball size hail or larger. That if it gets larger, that could do a number on anything that's outdoors. So there's another thing to keep in mind that we haven't had to deal with. Now, the folks in Owensboro a couple of weeks ago, they had to deal with it. It was a mess. I was up there last week, as a matter of fact, and it's like one section of town is fine. You go closer to downtown, and there's all these homes that look like they have been somebody had just gone with a ball peen hammer and just went to town on the siding of their house. It was crazy. So Owensboro knows what this is like, but it could be like that here. Maybe, maybe as we get into Sunday night. Now, Monday, all of this is going to march east and we'll be out of the thick of things. But now we've got to be concerned about Wednesday. And already, look at this. Already, the Storm Prediction Center has not only painted us in a 15 to 29% risk of severe weather, but now they've painted in a greater than 30% chance of severe weather this far out. And that includes Bowling Green. And again, Western Kentucky. This seems to be the prime area for severe weather problems. So again, next Wednesday, we're going to maybe do this all over again. I know it's crazy, crazy stuff. All right, I want to show you what the Weather Service has sent out. Let's see if I can do this without messing things up here. Where did it go? Hold with me. There it is. Okay. Now I want to show you this that the Weather Service sent out this morning. Let me make sure you can see this. Okay, I need to scoot it over just a little bit. Let me see if I can do that. Yeah, it's a another situation that we're going to have. Um, this is again kind of rehashing the latest that they're saying. Here's what we're looking at. This is what you need to pay attention to. That sort of thing. Um, Damaging winds, large hail, tornadoes. You get the jive here of what they're talking about. I gotta make that better. Let me make a change here. There we go. I knew there was a button I needed to. Oh, that's even worse. Well, that didn't help, did it? I'm sorry. Let me back it up a little bit. I don't know if that's gonna. Okay. Well, that'll help. That'll help right there. Even though it's not as big as I want it to be. But anyway, so rehashing, there's your timing after this is all Eastern, but here's Central Time. They've got it um, after 7 p.m. to about 4 a.m. I don't think it's going to last that long, but certainly it looks like the start time is going to be after 6 or 7 o'clock Central tomorrow night. And they're saying these severe conditions could last up to 2 hours, but it could go 2 to 3, depending on how fast it moves. Damaging winds, large hail, tornadoes. Confidence is now in the high category that this is going to happen. And they put even extra wording here, significant storms possible. Okay. So here they're showing um, the tornado threat, which I just showed you, severe winds or damaging wind threat at 30% or higher. This is a level three enhanced risk, high confidence. This is their wording, not mine. High confidence that several storms will contain damaging wind, severe hail, and or tornadoes. And this is where you just have to pay attention and make the plans now to seek shelter for that. And then here they're talking about Some flooding is going to take place with the heavy rains, and then they talk about Wednesday's event. Right now, the confidence for Wednesday is in the medium but close to high category. And as we get closer to next Wednesday, that may go up. I'm sure it probably will. Be prepared for nighttime tornadoes. Have a NOAA weather radio. If you don't have one, you can go to pretty much any Ace hardware store and get a weather radio. Have a safe place. In the nighttime, you got to prepare. You got to have your cell phones charged up. Got to have a flashlight. You need some shoes ready to go by your bed just in case, something happens and you need to get out or whatever. You'll have your shoes right there. Have a helmet if you can find a helmet just in case. That will protect your head from any falling debris. But do like this person is, be vigilant, be aware that something could happen, but go to sleep, go to bed. And if you've got a weather radio or you've got your phone or you got more than one way to um, listen to the weather and keep up with bulletins and all of that, then you're going to be okay. You're going to know what's going on. And then down here, there's like, nowhere to go. Don't go upstairs. Don't go into outside or exterior rooms that face windows and for shelter. I'm talking about for shelter. Interior rooms, lowest level, basement is the best place to go. Bathrooms, just bathrooms. That's going to be your best overall bet. Okay. One more thing before I go, and that is the model blender. And everybody waits for this because this is showing you what all or a majority of the models are putting out and averaging temperature here for the next 10 days. So we're going to be in the mid and upper 70s today and tomorrow, then much cooler by Monday after that storm system leaves, and we go 62 to 38 for Tuesday morning. So it's going to be chilly, but not frosty. Um, so I don't think you'll have to worry about plants that you've got out already. It's not going to get that cold. Then we go back into the 60s for Tuesday, but here comes Wednesday and the next severe weather event, which is now poised for Wednesday of next week. And then Thursday, Friday, Saturday, we stay warm, but know that there's going to be a stalled frontal boundary, and that means nothing but rain and lots of rain. Flooding is going, I can guarantee, I can't guarantee a tornado, but I can guarantee there's going to be more flooding for us, the Green River Basin, next week. Maybe a little this weekend, but next week, flooding is going to be a problem. Guaranteed. Then next weekend, we go back into the 60s. So there's that outlook. Oh yeah, here is the threat index. This is what I put out um last night if you were watching News 40. Again, the highest threat with this storm tomorrow night is going to be destructive winds up to maybe category 1 hurricane strength, 70 plus miles per hour, possible even close to 80. And that's going to bring down some trees. That's going to knock out some power. That's going to toss around anything you've got outdoors. Tornado threat, large hail threat, low to medium. That threat is there. In fact, I'm with the next update, I may just increase the hail threat a little more based on what I'm seeing right now. That may become the second threat behind damaging wind. Damaging wind, then large hail, then tornado, then flooding. So there are those threats. And look at this. This is total rainfall collectively over the next week, starting today and going to next Saturday. In that period of time, thankfully, this is not all going to be at once, but in that period of 7 days, you've got 3, 4, maybe even up to 5 inches of rain. And all of that is going to sit right over the Green River Basin, the Green River, the Barren River, the Rough River, the lakes, the streams, all of it. Eventually it's all got to run up to the Ohio River. But it's going to collect over several days. And there may be times this weekend and then again next week where you could get, 2 inches or more within an hour if it rains hard enough. And so some of you may even exceed some of these numbers that you're seeing here. So lots of rain. Here's the forecast: 78 today, 63 tonight, 76 tomorrow. And then here comes the cooler air with heavy rain early Monday. It's not going to be all day Monday, but early Monday, yeah, there's going to be a lot of rain in wake of that cold front. 62. We go 76 to 62. Then we go that one nice day I told you about on Tuesday, and then back to severe storms round 2, or whatever round this is now, 5. After tomorrow, I think it'll be 5 on Wednesday, and again near 80. And there you see the stalled front for Thursday and Friday of next week. Will be in the warm and soupy 70s because there will be a lot of moisture around, and it's going to be damp, it's going to be wet, and the flooding is going to be an issue. Okay, hundreds of you in here this morning. I appreciate it very much. Can't get to all the things in the chat, but I just wanted to spend, it's just good to have this platform to spend extra time to explain to you what I can't explain in the 3 or 4 minutes I get on television. It's not long enough. I can hit the high notes, but this, I can explain it and take time. And I appreciate you guys uh, just spending what, almost now 40 minutes of watching this. So everybody, everybody in Southern Kentucky, every county, every city is in the threat. Everybody. Okay. So I can't specifically go every time I get somebody says, what about my town? What about this place? Everybody. It's everybody. No one is excluded. We're all under the threat, and we can't evade it. We can't run from it. It's coming. So let's just hope and pray, as we always do, that maybe it loses a little bit of its punch, a little bit of its energy, and it may not be so bad. But regardless, we will be watching. My team, Darius and Micah and Matt and all of us at News 40 will be watching. We'll be waiting. We'll be in standby mode to activate and go on the air on TV and stream should it become necessary. Now, if it looks like it's just going to be a few thunderstorms and some of those severe, maybe, it may not be, we may not be on your television continuously. The rule of thumb that we have is if there are tornado warnings specifically, doesn't even have to be a tornado. It could be a warning because it looks like on radar a tornado could happen. That's when we activate on television. Uh, Otherwise, we'll be streaming to WNKY.com, to Facebook, and the app. So you see the QR code there, right in the corner, right there, right there, the QR code. You scan that with your phone. You can download the app, and really, that is the way we want to keep you informed more than breaking in on television, more than, any other way. That's what the app is for, to keep you constantly updated. But we also stream to the app so that you can hold your phone. Hopefully you've plugged it in before your power goes off, and you can watch us. You can watch us talk about it live. That's what it's for. So there you go. I'll do another update tomorrow morning right here, probably a little bit earlier or around the same time. We'll see. And then I'll have tomorrow morning the very latest information. In the meantime, get done today what you got to get done, and have a great day. God bless you, and thank you for watching.